How to pay for your kids' college. So I have and am experiencing it. I have one through, he's 26 years old, and I have one right in the middle of this conversation. She's 19 years old. So get a pen and paper for those of you that are serious about making college a deduction. Now, I'm going to call it old-fashioned ways that you're going to see if you look this up on the internet yourself. You could do things like tax advantage tools like the 529. Here's the problem I have with 529 plans. So many of your kids are becoming entrepreneurs and they're doing it very, very rapidly. So a 529 has very specific spending requirements. I stopped doing my 529 over a decade ago, just knowing that, especially the one I have, the youngest one now, she's very entrepreneurial. She's already become a pilot. So you can use it as accredited schools for like her pilot training, but normally it is for an accredited school. So that's one. Coverdale's, again, family trust is usually a big way, but I have some better ways. So number one, let's just talk about savings and starting to put money away in a more alternative way. Number two, how do you income shift? So especially if you have a family business, and if you don't have one, get one. You're going to need one. How do you use that family business to get your kids through school is one of the biggest strategies I use. And then I'm going to talk about some other alternatives that are fascinating and you are going to love them. So get a pen and paper. So here's just some bonus facts and interesting statistics around college. Here we are in 2025. The average four-year college costs between $104,000 and $230,000. A 529 can grow tax-free for educational expenses, but again, you have some limitation on how to use them, especially if your child decides to start a company and not go to school and get a degree. And then families can save up to $12,000 a year by paying kids as employee in their business. That actually in 2025 has moved up to $15,000 inside of family business. So one of the things that you should do, and you all need to go get this, makeyourkidsmillionaires.com, go get the book, 87 points of things you could have, should have, would have done between 0 and 20 with your kid. Number one, the minute my kids were born, they were employed by my company. By day 2, they had a Roth IRA. So I started fully funding. Back in the day, I think it was only $4,000 or $5,000 when I could fund it. Now it's up to $7,000 that you can fund. So you do that for 20 years of a child's life, where you fully fund, not just a little bit, but fully fund the Roth IRA. Invest it very strategically for high growth opportunities. Like I put Bitcoin, Ethereum. I did profit sharing inside of a real estate transaction out of Mexico. Fabulous growth. So those then can just skyrocket and continue to grow. So you have a lot in your Roth. You say, well, you can't take it. You can take loans against them as a way to go to school if you want. So get the kids immediately. I mean, at 4, 5, and 6, you can do a custodial plan. Even if you're the signer on the plan, you want your kids starting to understand money buys stuff and then start doing the buckets. My daughter and I think when she was 8 or 9 years old, did a whole program and a whole folder on how you divide the money. So for every dollar, for example, that she made, I'll just give you her statistics, 50% went to investments into buy things in the future is what we called it for little kids. So you're going to buy things in the future. Those are really built for assets. And then what percent goes to charity? That's up to you and your family, your own rules. How much can they spend? Usually 25, 30% they can have and they can spend it and do their own little things with it. Buy, gifts for birthdays, holidays, whatever they want to do. So have some different categories that is very purposefully designed for the kids. So get the kids early in money making that mom and dad are not the bank. And by the way, you should never pay your kids an allowance. When you buy the book on the website, which it's December 1st, we're filming 2025, why don't you buy a whole bunch of these and send them out as Christmas presents? So inside here is never pay your kids an allowance. An allowance is like a paycheck. You're not setting them up for success in any form or fashion, in my opinion. The second thing is you can income shift. This is the one I like the most. So as the kids grow and work for the family, they have age-appropriate tasks. So it can go from, getting mail to sorting mail to shredding. I mean, simple little stuff, taking out trash, to cleaning the office, to filing, to then now doing social media, travel, accounting, bookkeeping. So whatever your firm does or your business does, you can employ the kids. And again, they can get up to $15,000 without having to pay tax. So that's a huge one. Then inside of that, because you have a family business or you're employed, you can also gift. Each parent can gift $19,000 in 2025. So you start gifting plus have them work for the company. Now they're accumulating that money in an account. Now I'm going to give you a free link to iFlip because iFlip is where my kids and lots of our kids in this community put their their money, and adults. We put our money there. It outperforms the market in many, many ways. The biggest thing it does, it shorts you out of the market. It's a software. It's not somebody just doing things for you, to you, and not high commissions. In fact, there's no commissions in this model. So it takes you in and out of the market with an AI-driven platform. And the most I've ever lost is 2.87. And then as that stock or that part of my portfolio dropped, we bought in after it dropped back out, bought in low, watched it climb back up. So I didn't take heavy hit. So income shift, where your companies employ the kids. I don't know how many clients of ours come and they have companies, great companies, medical doctors, and they're not employing their kids. So it's a huge strategy. And the other part of that is as they become 18 years old, put them into your businesses. So some alternative ways I want to talk about is how then can you go visit your student, your child, and your partner, your shareholder. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Right now, though, I want you to subscribe to this channel. Click that notification button. 5 days a week, I want to be ringing on your phone. I want you watching me for 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever the recording is of the day, the lesson of the day. And please take advantage of our playlist. We've been doing this YouTube channel for 4.5 years. We have so much content, rich content in the alternative business and financial space. So make sure you're out here. It's 5 years old and up. What a great gift to give your kids. There's also a journal. Holiday time is coming up again. There's a journal in the show notes. So grab the journal because it's going to say, what video did they watch? When did they watch it? Meaning they, the kids. What did they learn? What are they going to do about it? So I always ask those two questions. What'd you learn? What are you going to do? Right? It creates the action and the momentum for them. So back to alternative strategies. My favorite was when they were 18 years old, they got an LLC for their birthday and they joined relative companies. So my son joined a real estate company. So when I went to go watch him play football, Georgia Southern, I went to then also see my real estate partner. So my travel was written off, and when he came home, his travel was written off because we put it inside of the business of the real estate. Now, because my daughter's a pilot and we've had planes in the past, I have an aviation company, so she actually works through that. So as long as they're going to school for something that the company needs. So he became a CPA and accountant. She's doing business and marketing. So both of them, as long as they're in that category where the company, the LLC, the S Corp, the C Corp needs that skill set, it's 100% education reimbursement plan that you can put through under your corporate resolutions. So we know how to help you get a lot of this done. Very strategic, very, very savvy, and we cannot wait to help you get your kid through school. But instead of just paying out of pocket, pay through business expenses. Much better strategy. We're here 5 days a week again. Click that button. I will see you tomorrow with more content. Have a great day.